The Broncos might not have any practice today, but make no mistake about it, they are 1-0, and that's always a great feeling. I get it, it's preseason, so we don't necessarily have to do preseason streaks, but it feels good to start off with a win, does it not? So I need you to do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up icon for me real quick and just kind of support the channel and lets the Broncos know that you're happy with their win. On today's episode, the official winners and losers after preseason week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. A list of winners, a list of losers that you need to know heading into week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals. Welcome in, Broncos country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Let's start with the winners. We have to start with this list and Kerene Reid, the UDFA out of Utah. Only a couple of tackles in this one, but had a really nice pick, and I feel like, he's had a pretty decent camp so far. I feel like he may or may not make the 53-man roster at this point. That remains to be seen, but he definitely showed up for this first preseason game against the 49ers. Kind of a bad read by the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, kind of threw it right at him, but he made his layup play. And that's what you want to see from the players that are kind of on that roster bubble, is when the plays come to you, do you have the ability to remain patient, survey the field, identify the read, and then make the play? And Kerene Reid did all of that. Some other players with some notable interceptions, the UDFA out of Duke, Mr. Joshua Pickett. He had one. Jaquan McMillan also had a pick, a very nice low ball grab from Jaquan McMillan. And, of course, Kerene Reid. Shout out to J.L. Skinner also for a forced fumble, but obviously not a pick, so I can't throw him on this list. And also, he's an honorable mention for our winners as well. The next winner, got to have him, Nik Bonitto. Dude was an absolute beast. Granted, against second-string offensive linemen, but he was torching them. In fact, one sack on Mac Jones, almost had 3. 2 of them were definitely very, very close. Mac Jones spun out of a sack that Bonitto kind of initially made the hit on, and Jones just had this weird moment of escapability where he kind of climbed out of it and then ended up making a pass for 2 yards. Either way, Bonitto looked outstanding. He is going into contract talks, so you're going to be seeing a contract extension, in my opinion, sooner rather than later. But 3 pressures, 1 sack. I think you're going to be looking at exactly what you saw from him last year, which was that breakout season. I think he could absolutely eclipse 14 sacks. No doubt about it. Our first winner on offense, Tyler Badie. And look, he's probably my biggest winner from this game. The reason I say that is because he's been doing it all. Kind of quiet in training camp, hasn't had his name mentioned a bunch, but when he got out onto the field, he was electric. Averaged more than 6 yards per carry, picked up a couple of blitzes, showed his ability to chop block. I mean, the guy is just an absolute stud. Now, after last year and that injury where, kind of shortened his season and kind of made sure that he didn't have as big of a role as he could have, that was unfortunate. But I think he's absolutely pushing right now for that RB3 spot. Jaleel McLaughlin, I have him in there as RB3 right now, but that could very, very quickly change. In fact, Tyler Badie might be making the best case for RB3 right now. I do know that there's a lot of Broncos fans that were like, make him RB2, but you don't take R.J. Harvey in the second round to have him be RB3. I get it, best player available, but R.J. Harvey is going to be just fine. So J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, I think that next one is up for grabs. And I would not be surprised whatsoever if Tyler Badie made that RB spot, certainly over the likes of Audric Estime, who we'll touch on here later on in the episode. Jaleel and Tyler Badie are going to be, head-to-head right now for that RB3 spot, which could be a very pivotal position come the regular season in 2025. So I'll ask you, would you put Tyler Badie as RB3 right now? Yes or no? I got a pencil in yes. I think he's shown enough. His jump cuts were great. His north to south running was great. His ability to pick up a block was great. There was nothing that I saw from him that didn't show me that he was ready to take that next step as the RB3. Either way, let me know in the comment section down below. Let's go with our fourth winner, Trent Sherfield. Only 3 receptions, but the highlights probably of the game with a beautiful thrown ball from Jarrett Stidham, who we'll touch on here in just a little bit. But Trent Sherfield had a go route against man coverage, beat his man off the line of scrimmage, came down with the ball, bobbled it a little bit, pinned it to his helmet, dragged his feet, touchdown, 6 points. It was unbelievable. It was a 36-yard strike. Trent Sherfield not only is a great special teams player, but I can tell you this right now. He's carving out a much bigger role for himself in this wide receiver room. Now, he's not going to be wide receiver 1 or even wide receiver 2. But wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, where he gets out in a 5-wide package, why not? I think he absolutely has earned that. So, tip of the cap to you, Mr. Trent Sherfield. He played very, very well. Our last winner on this list. I wrestled with throwing J.L. Skinner in here. I'm not going to lie. But then I looked back at the box score and I started to think about all the plays that Jarrett Stidham made. He was damn near perfect, guys. 14 of 15 for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, against second and third stringers, but he's also a backup. That's what he's supposed to do. He carved up that San Francisco secondary. An island pass wide open in the end zone to Lucas Kroll for 6 points, and then, of course, that bomb to Trent Sherfield. Jarrett Stidham was awesome. He showed great pocket awareness. He showed his ability to read the field, go through his progressions, even made a couple of plays with his legs. The only negative that he had, he fumbled the ball, but the Broncos recovered. So it wasn't that bad. Either way, though, Jarrett Stidham played really, really well, and I had to throw him on this list for that reason. Before I get into my losers, my friends, it's still on sale, and it's not going to last forever. When I saw this deal originally, I was like 20% off for a Bo Nix jersey right now. Absolutely. I'm taking that beat right away. But you can get it in navy. You can get it in white. You can also get it in orange. But here's where you definitely have to do it. In the comments and description of today's video. Use that link that I've put there to go start shopping today, or go to chatsports.com/NixJersey. The losers, relax. It's preseason. For the sake of the video, this is more so just like hey, these are things that we noticed. I'm not worried about it. The first string offense. Yes, you have to put them in the loser category. It looked choppy. It looked rough. They were not in sync. However, I'm not panicking. This is what preseasons are for. Shout out to Sean Payton, who recognizes that, and that's why he puts in the starters for a couple of drives. You got to work the kinks out. Offense is like a dance. Rhythm, timing, routine, repetition, over and over and over again. Defense is more instinctive, reactionary, understanding spatial awareness, and then reacting to make a play. Offense is a lot more scripted. So let's talk about it. Bo Nix, yeah, he wasn't great. 6 of 11 for 31. He wasn't awful. He had a couple of underthrown balls. He did make his reads very quickly, and the only real boneheaded play that you could say was that intentional grounding call that he took in the end zone, which resulted in a safety. Outside of that, it looked rusty. That's what you're expecting, though. It's preseason. Like, he's not going to come out and throw, 12 of 12 for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, we can give him a little bit of a pass here. He's going to be just fine. But with that being said, it definitely was choppy. And he knows that. He addressed it at the press conference as well. Second loser, Audric Estime. And I didn't put him on here because he played poorly. I put him on here because of what the other running backs are already showing. So Audric Estime, statistically speaking, didn't have a great game. He averaged less than 3 yards a carry, 2.6 yards per carry. Outside of that, I thought he played okay. He definitely did his job, but it wasn't great. I just think that there are so many other running backs right now that are playing better than him. Hell, Blake Watson played way better than him. Tyler Badie played better than him. R.J. Harvey played better than him. J.K. Dobbins didn't touch the field, but we can all, pretty much reasonably assume, right, that if J.K. Dobbins was in, he would have played better. So, as of right now, on the outside looking in, he's getting passed up by other running backs. He might not get that RB4 spot. I hope he does. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I'm a big Audric Estime guy. Loved him coming out of college. He's just not performing nearly as well as some other players. So, for that reason, I have to throw you up this question. Should Audric Estime make the 53-man roster? Yes or no? If I had to answer it right now, my 4 guys that I'd be riding with would be J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, Tyler Badie, and Jaleel. So, maybe not. Either way, let me know in the comment section down below and defend your answer. We can have a difference of opinion, but let me hear why you think so as well. Our last loser, probably someone that you didn't notice a lot play, but I went back and watched the tape, and it wasn't good. This is the real, loser. Your play was really bad. Clay Webb. And we talked a little bit about Clay Webb earlier, a couple months ago, about where his spot was on this team and how he could end up taking a backup center role, but he played a little bit more right guard in this game. He was a disaster. The Broncos' run blocking scheme, the plays that he was a part of were really bad. And in pass coverage, he only allowed one pressure, but he got bailed out 2 or 3 times. So if it wasn't for his teammates coming up and ended up picking up a block, he probably would have done worse in pass blocking as well. And if I look at the Broncos' O-line right now, I just don't know where he fits in, right? There's plenty of other players that not only played better than him, but are higher than him on this depth chart. And we talked about him being the one UDFA that could end up making the team because he had a really good rookie minicamp. But if yesterday was any indication, it wasn't good. I need to see him pick it up. And that's why you have 2 other preseason games, right? Not every player is going to ball out. Somebody's got to play poorly. At least, in theory, that's what we think. So a reminder, though, that this is what preseason is for. It's to get the reps. It's to make sure that you can kind of filter out all of the negative stuff, sift through the bad, pick out the good, and then duplicate it. That's all preseason is, especially for the guys that are going to be out there week 1 starting against the Tennessee Titans. Speaking of our next preseason game, our last one is against the Cardinals. Not the last one. Our next one, is against the Cardinals. And if you are going to join us, not only do I want you to type me down in the comment section down below, I want you to hit subscribe and join the Broncos Breakdown family today. 365 days a year, we're going to give you free Denver Broncos coverage. A little mile-high salute to end today's video. A reminder to like the video if you haven't. And as always, be cool.